Well, good morning, stamping friends. I hope you guys are doing well and had a good weekend. We had a cold, rainy weekend here in Arizona, but you know, the weekend was packed with football games, so that's kind of what we had in the background all weekend. Well, it is time to move forward, and I am thinking about my cruise coming up. We are still over a year away, but I just want to do another little advertisement because we are filling up and we only have 11 spots left. So I'm going to read off the dates again. I have to keep looking because it's still so far out, but a big vacation like this takes some time to plan. As a matter of fact, this week I started purchasing and making some of the items that are going to be little treats and stuff. So I am full speed ahead with this cruise. I want to start working on it now while I have a little bit extra time rather than last minute, and try to pack it all in. So the dates are February 22nd through March 2nd. It is in the Caribbean, and I'm going to post all the cities because I could go on for 10 minutes about this, but it is going to be hopefully a warm vacation. It'll be a nice little break from winters. You can kind of figure it's going to be, well, like a month from now, but next year. So this weather and snow and cold that may be getting you down a little bit, sometimes just a little trip away in the Caribbean is all that you need to kind of lift your spirits a little bit. Also, we're going to be paper crafting, and so it's just going to be a lot of fun because it's an 8-day cruise. Most cruises we go on are only 7 days, so we get an extra day on the cruise. That means an extra day at sea, and it is going to be jam-packed filled with fun. So check it out. Check out the links that I'm going to put and just see, and maybe you want to invite a friend. Even if your friend or family member doesn't stamp, they can still go as part of our group, but they just won't take part in the crafting part of it. So again, it is February 22nd through March 2nd, 2025, and I will be sharing more with you as we go along. In the meantime, I have a little card that is a little Caribbean inspired, and so I'm anxious to share this with you. It's been so fun working on things like that in the middle of the winter. And so let me turn my camera around and we will get started with the project today. To get started today, I'm going to show you a couple products before I bring out my stash of things. And we are going to be using the Bright and Beautiful Memories and More cards and envelopes. Aren't these pretty? And it kind of gives a summery feel. So I thought that would kind of go with our theme today. And you get 20 card bases and envelopes for only $11. And these are the two prints here. I'll show you one of them up close here. These are the matching envelopes. Aren't they awesome? They coordinate well together. And let me show you the other card. So you get a nice little variety of card fronts, and they're very easy to work with based on the color scheme. This would make a cute Valentine's one too as well. All right, so that's the paper that we're going to use. And then I want to show you the stamps, one of the stamp sets that we're going to use. This is called Rays of Light, and it's one of those background stamps. And this is going to be another way we can show off our glass mat. This is so great because you won't ever need to buy the largest acrylic block that we have, because this is just like a ginormous acrylic block. So all you do is set this upside down and it's going to stick and not go anywhere. And that way you can even line it up on the lines here and get it straight. All right, so the other stamp set that we're going to use is called Beach Day. And of course I had my cruise in mind when I chose this bundle from the catalog. So we're going to get you in the cruising mood here and use this stamp set and dies. All right, first let's work on the background here. We are going to ink this up with Versamark. And the reason I'm doing this is because Versamark is a way to get a tone-on-tone look on your paper. We're not going to put ink on this because we have 3 different colors we're working with. And so we just want the tone on here. So it's normally used for embossing, but we are just going to use it to do tone-on-tone here. Now we'll just fold our cardstock in half on the pre-scored line. And then we are going to take this and put it right in the center of the card. So you might have to stand up to do this and go left to right and then top to bottom and go like this. And then we're just going to rub all the way around so it picks up everything. If you want, you can put a piece of paper on there if you're afraid of getting your fingers with Versamark ink on, but I think I can be pretty careful here. All right, now when we turn that over, this is what it's going to look like. So I think we will use the clear embossing powder and see what this does. What I'm doing here is just sprinkling the clear embossing powder on top, and you just want to make sure you get it everywhere on the paper, kind of tilt it around and just make sure all that Versamark gets covered up, and then tap it off. And then we will go to the heat tool and emboss this. Okay, I know this might be hard for you to see on camera, but it is a really pretty background that has picked up the colors, and it's just so pretty together. Can you see that? I'll try to kind of move it around. All right, now we are going to build on the card. But before we do that, I want to trim this down. It's a little bit too big, and I want this to be as long as the card. So let me go trim this right on the edge here, and then I'll be right back again. So basically, if you follow the width of the stamp, it's 5.5 inches. So now this will fit into a regular envelope, but I am still going to be using this one because it matches so well. So it'll just be a little bit larger, but that's no worries. All right, let's get on with doing the rest of the card here. We have some new dies from the spring catalog called Everyday Detail Dies, and I'll show you which ones I'm using. This is all the ones that you get in the pack. You get some nice rectangles and circles, and these are just kind of like little borders. And the two that I chose to use are these. They still have the dots in. I already die cut it. So I just put them on the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine like this and just center both of them, and I cut them out together. And we are going to make kind of like a little cruise window. Let me show you what I mean. After I die cut them, this is the shape that came out. So remember, this is a single one, which will cut the outside one. And then this one has kind of like a double dots here, and it'll cut right there. And this is what it turns out when you put these two together. Now we're going to build a little scene on this, kind of like a little porthole, and then we'll put it on the card. So let's build this. First, we need to have a base piece. So we're going to get a circle that is the size of this inside circle, maybe a little bit bigger, so that we can, build on it. And let me measure this to see what the base needs to be. The inside of this is going to be about 2 3/8, and the outside is going to be 3 1/4. So I think we're going to go for the 3 1/4, and these dots will just be on top of it, and it'll be white on white. So let me go cut a basic white circle, and then we will start building again. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 exactly. So this is the size we're going to use. Look at how perfect this fits on here. But I want to build this and then cut it out. So what I did was I took a square that's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and we're going to build on this, and then when I'm done, then we will cut this circle out. So first I want to start by building some sand on the ground. So we are going to grab crumb cake cardstock, and I am down to the edges of my dimensionals. Don't throw those away. Those work just as well. Sometimes even better, because you just want a thin line. So we'll go like that. And then, like I said, we will angle this a bit like that. All right, now we want to put a little bit of waves in here. So we are going to grab some blue paper. I think we'll use Azure Afternoon. I want to show you what the Beach Days dies looks like. I have them kind of a mess here because I've made a lot of cards using this, but the one that I'm going to use for the wave is this one, and then this one will just give us kind of a gentle roll with the waves. So I'm going to do these two together, or actually separate pieces because we want it layered. And let me quick die cut these, and I will be right back again. Here you can see the gentle roll that we have going with this one, and then here's the second one. So again, we're gonna layer them. I guess you could put it up, but I just feel like I want it to be tone on tone. So we're gonna go like this, angle 1, and we'll do dimensionals again underneath this one. So it's going kind of like this. Just put that, maybe we'll go this way. Okay, and then we will put this behind the sand. I guess you know what I should have put, if I can take that off. We should have tucked this down below first. Let me just trim this off. Did you see use my paper snips? And go like this, because we're just going to see a little bit coming through. And then let's tuck this down if we can. Like this, okay? And then you can add a little bit of sky here. We will take our blending brush and our Azure Afternoon, another commercial for the glass mat. You can actually use this to catch the ink and then go on your cardstock. We'll just add a little bit of blue here. All right. Now let's lift this again and put this behind our sand. So if you're making this, I would recommend doing your, let's just take that off. It comes off pretty easy. I would recommend doing your beach first, or I mean your waves first. Put that about right there, and then we can do the sand right here. And again, remember, we're going to be cutting this with my circle die. All right, there we have our beach scene. All right, let me cut that circle out, and then I will be right back again. Okay, here we have our 3D going, and now we are going to put it behind this little port like this. Okay, so now we need to put teeny tiny dimensionals on here, and I think that we may need to take our smaller ones. And do you see this edge here? We can cut these really small, so I'm going to just cut out a tiny little line here like this and remove both sides of the backing, and we can use these as our dimensionals because we definitely want this to pop. And also, I think that our foam adhesive strips are even going to be too wide for this. That looks good. Now we just need to add a little bit to the beach scene here. So what we're going to do is grab our stamps, and I think this little chair here will work, and possibly either a surfboard or the umbrella. I think I'm going to do the umbrella, so let's do that. So for this one, we'll just grab the umbrella and then the chair. And like I said, we'll take basic white, and whoa, this really sticks to the glass mat. I had it upside down, so. Okay, so we'll go like this. And then we will stamp the umbrella. And remember, when you use blends, you are going to want to use the Memento Black. Okay, now we are going to pull in some of the colors that we used in the background, and we have Azure Afternoon and Lemon Lime Twist and Bubble Bath that we will be using. I think we're going to make them the darker colors so they stand out a little bit more. And let's do. And then our little chair. What color should we make that? I think we'll do it green again. Let's make that kind of our main color here. It's kind of beachy and bright. Are you ready for warm weather? This has been quite the winter. Lots of snow. It's been rainy here in Arizona. I'm ready to see the sun. Let me go make the banner quick. We are going to use Enjoy the Day, or Enjoy Today. You could maybe stamp right on here, but I'm a little afraid it might not pick up where the embossing was with the clear embossing powder. So let's make a banner just out of the white paper again. And for the ink, I'm going to use our Azure Afternoon. I really like this blue. It's good for water. And we're just going to stamp it on basic white. And then I'm going to grab one of my Stylish Shapes dies, which has the stitching border. And then we will adhere this to the card, and then we will be done. So when you can see when I cut this out, I kind of leaned it towards this side so that that can go underneath. And then we're going to tuck this underneath, but I'll have to trim it down just a little bit because I think, oh, I guess I can stick it in there. All right, let me just put some, we'll raise this with a couple little dimensionals back here. I don't think I need these two. I don't need the little flag on that. It might go in a little bit easier, and just stick that in there. I lucked out with where it fell. And just make sure it's straight. There we go. All right, so there's our sunshine in the background and our little porthole, and this is to get you in the cruising mood. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and I will put my host code at the end here. And if you use my host code along with a $50 order, then you will qualify to get some Stampin' Up! Products sent your way as my way of saying thank you. And also I'll include a thank you card. And by the way, if your order is over $50, you can go ahead and choose a free celebration stamp set or embellishment or whatever you want. That is jam-packed with free products in there. So thank you again for joining me. Check out my cruise webpage and my blog, and also I have a separate Facebook page for in case you're just interested and want to look around and see what's going on there. I will post that link as well. All right, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock Arizona time. Bye-bye, everyone.